Um, Welcome to MAF's HR Perspective Share. I hope that you are already tuned in and you are ready to watch this wonderful show. We have been doing this HR Perspective Share for the last 4 or 5 weeks, and we've brought already 4 guests, including the Vice President of the Maldives. And today, as you can see, we have a special guest with us, Mohamed Afeef, the Operations Manager of Olhuveli Beach and Spa, Maldives. And we are going to share his stories. But before we do that, I just want to brief everyone that this is a program that MAP is doing just to bring the conversation of growth and development and topics relating to the human capital, and also the stories of different personalities, whether you are a hotelier or whether you are in the banking industry, aviation, or any other different sector. We will be bringing, usually every 10 days, we actually bring a special guest. So today we have Mohamed Afeef, the Operations Manager, also a hotelier of over 30 years. So Afeef, over to you. Could you tell just a little bit about you to all our viewers? I guess you're a very familiar face within the industry. And also I know you're somebody who is very keen on developing people and developing yourself. So would you want to give a bit of introduction and just get on with the show?
All right, thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum. Very good afternoon, Mr. Afeef and the MAP team. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to share my story on MAP, People Perspective platform. I'm very happy. And also at the same time, I would like to say very good afternoon to my fellow resort boys and resort girls who are actually having a hard time during these days. And actually, they are the true heroes of this hospitality industry, even nowadays. Even now, some people, they are just not going home. They are stuck on some of the resorts and preparing the resort for the guests to come. So I just want to say hello and to my colleagues around the hospitality industry in the Maldives. I actually started my career a long time ago. Probably you are not born, about 30 years ago. I was actually not ready to join the hospitality industry those days because I was thinking of doing some studies, getting my hotel school certificates and things. But before that, I have to, something forced me to join this. So I have joined hospitality industry a long time ago. But hospitality is something that I always look forward because this is like smiling and taking care of people and also helping each other and kindness, all those things. When I was very small boy, like about 12, 13 years age, I have studied in Huludu. That's Addu or Huludu. There's one of inhabited islands in Addu. And I stayed in a beautiful house with a very nice family, very nice couple. They actually, they're not operating, they're just like ordinary, they are nice family, but they have people who are always coming to their home. They have some staffs who are working with them, and also they have some fishing boat. They have some passenger boat from Malé to Addu. And when the people come to their home, the way they treat, the way they taking care of the people, that inspired me a lot. That's what we call mehmandari, but of course it's hospitality. So the the appreciation, also the genuine hospitality I learned from the people. I would like to mention the name of these beautiful people. Her name is Farial Ali and also Abdullah Shakib. They are in Nanritige. I will never forget and the kindness and hospitality I received from those two people, and also from both sides of the families. So they, when the people come, also like very often people are coming from nearby islands. They have a lot of friends, and also the people are coming from Malé. It's the way they look after, organize picnic trips, and also having fun in the house. It makes feel like, okay, this is something that we do even nowadays in some hotels, they do it. So like what I mentioned, it's a long time ago that I got inspired, but I I came to Mali, and I had a hard time in Mali. So I joined the government office and worked for 1 year. Then as soon after 1 year, then I joined to Club Med Resort. Have you heard Club Med Faru? Club Med Faru was actually, those days, one of the popular resort in the Maldives, about 15, 20 minutes ride from Male, very close to the airport. Now I think Club Med is just going into the history. So there I joined as like, it was very young age. I joined as a laundry boy, but their laundries, even nowadays, are probably, they don't have a laundry like this in some of the resorts. Their laundry is like a first-class laundry. They have all kind of machineries and things, you know. But I learned a lot. But of course, laundry is not something that I was actually looking for. I thought I can do much better. Then I got, then I got actually, they moved me to housekeeping. Then after housekeeping also, I mean, I was actually looking for another job. So I moved after 1 year doing housekeeping and Club Med Faru. I moved to Olhuveli, the place where I am in now, but it's not the same like now. It's not the same like now. So it was a beautiful small island. I still remember the days that I spent those days here. So after working 1 year in Olhuveli in different departments, I actually joined an Olhuveli as accounts clerk. So I have actually doing everything, the reception, accounts clerk, and laundry. And when there are some supply comes, I just go and receive the supply. So almost everything, multitasking job. And also in the nighttime, you go to the bar and doing the billing. So it's actually an eye opener, you know. You worked in Club Med, you moved to this island. Then again, I went back to Club Med for the second time, this time as a receptionist. There I started learning French language and also Japanese language. And Club Med is like a very fun kind of place, you know. I mean, like every 6 months they have changed the whole, they call GO team. GO means general organizers. So their team members, they call GOs. So like sometimes they have 60 or 70 GOs, like all the head of departments and people are, I mean, people are coming from different countries. So I met lots of interesting people from different part of the world, especially mainly French, you know, French speaking. French speaking is compulsory over there. So it was like very interesting place. And Club Med, the food is, I mean, the food is world class. The food is world class. And also their guest entertainment and guest engagement is something that I always like it. Even nowadays, we are probably lack of this. Anyway, the Maldives is like doing nothing kind of holiday destination. But Club Med, they are doing a lot of things. Over there, I did my Japanese course because Mali is very close by. But I had a hard time actually going to Mali. Those days, the transportation and things are not very easy. So going to Mali for the classes like 2-3 times a week, but sometimes I'm missing class, but I know I can get it back, you know. So I did my Japanese up to quite high level, the available level in the Maldives. Then again, I came back to the place, Olhuveli, because at the time, Olhuveli was opened by Japanese company, Mitsui. So I was actually, I thought I was ready to speak in Japanese and also working for a Japanese company. And also salary was better than my previous job. So I came back to Olhuveli. I think this is a very long story. If it goes too long, you just let me know, okay?
That you're sharing it. But I think you kind of laid out exactly what I wanted and what our viewers wanted to listen. How do you start it? And because of the desire and passion that you had to serve the people, and as we know, you have spent almost 30 years in the industry. You have done a lot of work. You have done the what we call in the industry as back office or the heart of house work, but you spend a lot of time in the front of house. You have dealt with guests, you have dealt with the employees. So I'm going to direct our talk now into a very specific question, because right now you are the director of operation at Olhuveli Beach and Spa Resort, and I understand you have just opened a couple of days ago, post pandemic. You're one of the first resorts to reopen, and I also understand you have quite a few guests there. And my question is, what factors contributed to your success as of today? I mean, you started a very humble beginning, laundry attendant, and you are today director of operations. And we know in most of the resorts in the Maldives, director of operation is considered as almost the second or the third in charge of the resort, in absence of either the resident manager or the general manager. So very senior position. We are proud of your success. So what factors contributed to your success? If you could highlight a couple of points.
Yeah, I can say it's my dedication and patience and hard work, you know. I actually am always trying to improve, and always I'm looking forward for the next level. From the beginning, it was just like a little bit laid back. You know, you are very comfortable of your job, and you get like enough salary, and you don't have, I mean, not many people are dependent on you. And also, I mean, your management is okay, so you're just comfortable there, and you're actually not looking forward to moving around. That's actually what happened to in my career. In the 30 years long career industry, probably I'm not gonna, I mean, it's not the right place where I am, but anyway, I would like to, my younger generation, the people who are like, I mean, let's go, generation 9/11 or generation Z, you know, they get a, like, I mean, they get a motivation from someone, you know, I mean, like me, not wasting time on a one place, not doing the same job for too long, and trying to find out something what is there, and also trying to find your career development and trying to improve yourself, because obviously it's something benefits you. You know, you get a better salary, you get better better projects to experience. So that's what I actually that's my message to the younger generation.
Yeah, well, you mentioned very good points there. You mentioned that the hard work, the dedication, and also, you know, not wasting time. Plus, wherever you are, you have to explore the opportunities, whatever the opportunities that are available, right? And that is a very important point you mentioned there, especially the, you know, if you work hard, you know you're going to get a whole different level. Now, we know there's this conversation and the challenge around not having, you know, opportunities for locals. I mean, there's this whole conversation, you know, or perhaps, you know, some resource or some areas in the industry not having enough locals as we wanted to, right? I think along the way we will get better. We are better compared to where we were, you know, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. I think step by step we're gonna go ahead. So my next question to you is that, what's your message for Maldivians who wants to join this industry? You know, you finish your school or you finish your, you know, various certifications and you want to join. What's your message for them? What should they consider when joining the industry?
Yeah, Maldives, you have actually not many choices. You have 2 or 3 choices. Either you go fishing or you go to the resort. You go fishing, probably you can go home maybe the end of the day, or nowadays probably they are doing like a weekly fishing. I mean, they go for fishing on week. I mean, either fishing or tourism. Tourism, we have a lot of opportunities in the Maldives. We have probably 156 tourist resorts, and also lots, about 330 guest houses, and also about tourist vessels, and some other kind of tourist agencies. I mean, there are a lot of hospitality positions available, and tourism industry is like, of course, I mean, the school, I mean, people coming from like fresh from the school, they have to start from the low-level job. I mean, actually, the Maldivians, our young boys and girls, they actually always trying to find a job in the office, but that's not what I actually want to advise. You know, try to do something somewhere, even in the restaurant, even dishwasher is fine, because then you have to go around. You have to go around. Then at the end of the day, you become the general manager or director of operations or the group general manager, whatever, you know. So it's, I mean, it's important to start even I mean, even a clerk at the reception, or even a telephone operator, even if it's food and beverage, even a dishwasher, you start it, but you need to make a plan for your life. You need to make a plan for your life. And also at the same time, the management, if the management is not really developing, not assisting your career, you have a responsibility of yourself. Of course, you are not, you don't have to stay on one place for too long. That's my advice.
Yeah, very good. I know you had a lot to say, but you make it quite short. It's a very important message I think you shared there, which is you have to start somewhere, and once you start, you have to keep going. And once you keep, once you are on the go, you will not remember, those hard works and extra hours you're putting. Just in no time, you'll find in a higher position or in your dream job, right? And I think that's really your key message that you have shared here. I see that participants have lost the Afeef. I think somehow the connection when Afeef's connection went missing, because I know that when he joined with me earlier, we were supposed to start at 4 o'clock. We had a little bit of delay due to the weather, and he's right now in Olhuveli Beach Resort where the weather is not very good. I think that's where the connection got lost. So he's going to be joining us right in the moment. Please stay with us. In the meantime, I just want to highlight some of the points that Afeef mentioned on his last question. If you're watching this, this is MAP's HR Perspective. Today our guest is Mohamed Afeef, the Director of Operations from Olhuveli Beach and Spa. He was with us a while back and we just lost him. I guess the connection wasn't very good, perhaps from his end. And I think he will join us just in a moment. So please give us a moment. And he specifically mentioned, I asked him a question about, what's his message for those who would like to join the industry. And he said that you have to start somewhere. You have to, find a job. You may not be able to start from a higher level, but you have to start, at a level that you get. And you have to keep going. And just in no time, you probably will be reaching or achieving your dream job. That was the last point that he mentioned. I also see we have some great comments here coming from our participants. I see a comment here. I'm going to read that from Jim. Afeef just joined. I can see that he just joined on our call. I'm sure you will hear from him just in a moment. So comment from Joe says, I'm so honored to have had the opportunity to be mentored by Afeef being Cocoon, Maldives and Fushifar. He's the kindest person I ever met in my hospitality career. Yeah, and also we have another comment here from Shihab. And Shihab's comment is awesome storytelling. So inspiring and pleasing to listen. So glad I'm here to listen. Afeef, you joined us the call. Are you there?
Pardon me.
That's all right. I see that your video is not on. Can you on the video?
Yeah.
Yes, yes. I realized that the internet dropped and we lost you for a while, but all the viewers are still waiting to hear from you. So it's all right. You'll continue. These things does happen when you do events like this. That's also right. So my next question is: you must have met a lot of people, lots of tourists. You must have visited many countries in the world. You must have met many wise people, and they may have given advices to you, right? What's the best advice that you ever received, and from whom you received that advice?
I actually, I was thinking of these questions couple of times, But Afeef, I have received the best advice from my mom, because wherever I go, she always call me. I mean, whenever she just get a chance to talk to me, she just asks, what time you're getting up. Get up early. Get up early and do your morning prayer. And then you'll be like, you are starting like a right person. So, I mean, from the beginning, I was not very careful of this. But when I started this, getting up early in the morning and do your prayers or whatever kind of meditation, then you start your day. That's the right things. But of course, I have got a lot of nice advice from different people from different part of the world. It's mainly the same thing, you know, treat the people the same way that you would like them to treat you. Of course, yeah. That's, but my mom gave me the best advice, which I have to be careful and I have to live forever, you know.
Yeah, that's a great advice. You mentioned that you know your mom shared the best advice to you, and the best advice that she gave you was that wake up early, start your day early, and finish early, because early morning hours are always very, very productive. Very good. So my next question to you is that over the years we have seen, and we personally know each other, and I've seen that you've taken a great deal of time and attention to your own growth. I know you have also done recently a coaching certification with Marsha Goldsmith. How essential is one professional growth and investment to step up in your in your ladder in terms of your career growth and career path? Could you talk a little bit about this and what should we be focusing more on?
Yeah, when you think about your own career, you sometimes feel, oh God, I mean, if somebody guided me on this way, I should be on this track. So I on my hospitality industry on my career, I have met so many creative and talented people, and they actually need, they need a guidance. I actually tried to do guiding long time ago, you know, because even like when I was a small boy, I have to look after like a lot of relatives, siblings, and it's my concern always to bring them on the right track and to make them a right person. So even like when I was working in hotel industry, if somebody is going like in a wrong direction, I try to bring them a good direction. And also I find if somebody is talented in some way, I bring them and try to find out what's your career goal, what you want to do actually. So like that, I'm proudly, I can say I brought a lot of young people on the right track, and they are doing extraordinary job in the world, you know, I mean, in the Maldives. Some of them, I mean, like big companies, like quite well known companies they are working. So there's a kind of satisfaction that you get. So that's why I always, and even in my workplace, even if I'm not a responsible person, if I know somebody is not doing the right things, I unofficially do counseling. And I always feel that I have a chance to make it right, you know. So that's why I have decided to do this coaching. You have done this one. So this gives like a lot of confidence and also a lot of information. So I even, every day is a coaching day for me. Everywhere I go, and people expect me something from me, you know. So I'm a coach officially and non-officially.
Yes, very good. No, coaching is an important area where we can help the younger generations get on track and really be focused on what they're supposed to do. I know we have quite a lot of participants watching this through Facebook Live. So please feel free to write your questions, your thoughts, your reactions to Afeef in his conversation. Our guest today is Mohamed Afeef, who's the director of operations of Olhuveli Beach Resort. This is MAP's HR Perspective Share conversation. Afeef, my next question to you is around the locals within the industry. I asked a question earlier about it, but there are quite a lot of senior locals now. We have a lot of senior HR directors now. We have even in organizational higher level, we have quite a few GMs, we have resort managers, director of operations. We as senior locals in the industry, what can we do to develop more locals? what's your message to them? I mean,
It's like yeah, the regulation body. I mean, the government has a major role developing tourism industry. You know, I mean, especially locals. I can say like every locals who are in higher position, I mean, they themselves, they try very hard, and you know, I mean, but we should have kind of policy, you know, policy level. We need to have a policy, you know, because what happens is sometimes like when we have these branded hotels comes, sometimes we talented locals, they never get a chance, you know, I mean, they always, people are coming from, because for example, like, if I am the general manager, I'm bringing all my colleagues who work with me last couple of years, you know, there's something happening, you know, that's why the Maldivians who are looking for the next step, they're stuck there. Then we feel like, okay, this is the things that we have to accept, you know. But we need to work very hard, even the government level, even the, I mean, you guys, MAP, you are doing a lot of things, you know, I mean, and also, I mean, slowly people are coming out, and we feel like this is Haggumimbar, you know, I mean, but it's not actually, you know. We have studied in different universities, and we are, I mean, well educated in hospitality industry, but we are just in somewhere, then you get fed up and you leave the industry. Then you're just doing something which is not related, you know. But those who have done the hospitality industry, they have to continue the hospitality. This is like, I mean, an exciting, I mean, this is the only industry we have, you know. So we ourselves, individually, we have a responsibility, and also the Maldives, the government, tourism ministry, whoever, I mean, the regulating people, they need to find a place for their people, you know.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think there's a lot that all stakeholders needs to do, and you know, we're one, you know, we're also one of the stakeholder. But I just want to specifically ask, like, what can we do as senior industry professionals, right? Like, what can you, what can I, what can the other senior locals can do to bring more locals and to have them develop and grow? For sure, there's a part where the government will have to involve. For sure, there's a part where the community and institutions and other regulatory bodies. But what can we do at individual levels, like you and I?
Yeah, recently INAS and some HR teams, they have started, you know, I mean, individually we have a responsibility to bring our nation, our community, our industry up, you know. So the problem in the Maldives is, I mean, we are stuck on a resort island, you know. So, I mean, for example, if you're working on a resort island, you are 345 days away from everything. And even though if you have got like a spare time, you are not able to do things like certain things. I mean, like, for the development of others. Of course, I mean, every island, they have a training manager, but for, I mean, as individually, if you want to do something, you're not able to do it. But my message to the community is, the problem in the Maldives is the young generation, they get wake up call like sometime a little later, you know, oh, this is my career. I am a little bit behind. I need to go fast. I need to go and find my, you know, the top of the ladder. From the beginning, they just, I mean, young generation, they're not really taking care of, I mean, they're not very serious. So they just come and as a waiter or room boy, whatever, front desk staff, they come in, they spend like 2, 3, 4 years, but sometimes they are not very serious about the job. So as a parent level, we need to develop our children. We need to develop our children. When the children are like 18, 19 years, they're not, I mean, they are ready to do anything, you know. They can even become general manager of the island. So when they come to the industry, they have to be very responsible people. Like what we are doing is now we until they leave home, we are looking after everything. We are just washing their clothes. We are doing everything. We are just spoon feeding. We are just like babysitting, you know. So we have to bring our children with full responsibility to take care of themselves and to take care of the, I mean, wherever the responsible job, you know. So like that, then you have like fast, for example, if you are in a job, then you know, okay, this is not my level. I need to get the next job, next position, something like that. So that's very important. The parents and also the schools, the school curriculum, they have to think about this, because, for example, like now tourism and hospitality, I mean TNT, tourism and travel and tourism, they're teaching. I mean, of course, the children at school, they do by heart, but sometimes they don't know what is this. You know, when they come, they're not fully prepared for tourism industry. So it's quite a bit difficult when young boys and girls come to the resort island. Then the resort also, I mean, they have a lot of things to do to develop them. So from the government level, I mean, the school, the parents, and also individually, we have to think about our workforce, you know, the workforce in hospitality industry.
Yeah, thank you, Afeef. You mentioned good point. Then I want to specifically highlight the individual responsibility that you and I have, or anyone who's already working in the industry, to bring more locals, to bring more people, and to really encourage each other to develop themselves, to grow themselves, right? Because there is opportunities available out there. Now I want to take on a very important question, which is, in terms of the leadership. I mean, when you first started as a laundry attendant 30 years ago in Club Med, Farooq, right? Yeah. And you started as a laundry attendant. I'm sure you are a very friendly person to the team, but over the years, your leadership developed. Skill. Your leadership skills develop over the years, and you attended trainings, you learn from people, right? So, what's your advice to people who manage people about how they can be a good leader? What's your message to them?
My message is like, I mean, know your team. Know your team first. I mean, for example, of course, when you're selecting the right people, then of course you know the team, and also you need to treat the team well. And I mean, leaders is just not like, I mean, just one thing. It's just like lots of different things, So that's very important.
Yeah. So 2 points you mentioned there. One is, know your team well and connect with the team well, right? Now you work in the hospitality industry, and there's a lot of transactions and service activities that happens within a day. What's the best part of your job?
Yeah, it's I mean, I'm a very guest-oriented, guest-related person. I mean, even like teams, every success, and for example, like recently, the Olhuveli, we were not actually closed. We were looking after a lot of people from around the world who were stranded in the Maldives. About last 3-4 months, we have looked after more than 900 people from different parts of the world. We did our best actually with limited facilities and activities because of COVID, And but also we have more than 800 people working here on this island. We have about nearly 400 rooms, So Olhuveli, we have two islands. One island, the new island is connected with a small walkway bridge from the main island. Main island was given the quarantine people. So also we had local people. I mean, when everything completed, when we did a big project, the end of the day, I mean, the excitement, I mean, you can't just explain these things. And also, like when we have a guest, for example, when the guests leave us, having a good holiday and complimenting the staff team members and also writing nice reviews and things, that gives you a good satisfaction.
Yeah. So I think the key point is that when you complete a certain project, or when something gets done, the feeling and the excitement that comes by knowing the other people that you serve are happy and they they left with amazing memories. So I want to take a question from one of the participants who's watching on Facebook Live. The question to you, and the question is, we are talking about bringing more locals to industry. In your opinion, what needs to happen to increase the headcount of the locals, knowing we don't really have proper hotel schools? That was from a participant. What's your take on this question, Afeef?
For the islanders, I mean, it's not very easy sometimes to come in Mali and to do a complete hotel school. But if somebody is this is what I'm talking about. For example, like even at home, we prepare for the people our young generation to come to an industry where, tourism industry. I mean, everyone knows somebody is coming to the tourism industry, they stay on a resort island 345 or 350 days a year, and they live in like this, their accommodation is whatever like this. And for the people even who are not completing proper hotel and tourism studies, I mean, if they can start from somewhere. Nowadays things are very easy. Nowadays, like, it's where technology is available, you can do a lot of online courses and you can just get a lot of information. For example, if you want, if you're a waiter, if you want to set up a table, if you want to escort a guest, this is easy. I mean, you can just from one click you can get all this information. So basically what I can say, if it's me, I don't really want to attend a hotel school now. I can get all the information what I need related to my job. So those things we have to open for the people. Of course, if you got like a proper education hotel in this industry, then it's easy track to go ahead. But even now, it's you don't have to wait. Oh, I haven't done my hotel school, I don't want to go and do hotel school. But you start and you can just do the training on job, and also on your spare time you can learn a lot of things in your field and your desired field.
Yeah, thank you, Afeef. But yeah, very good response, and the message is very clear. There are opportunities available out there, so you have to start somewhere to really get the result that you want. We have one more question from a participant to you, Afeef, because through this program, participants, the viewers, they can actually send questions. So the second question is from Aminat Hussein Muhammad. She's also a career counseling guide. Why is there such a huge pay difference among locals and foreigners in the hospitality industry? What's your view on this?
That's a very difficult question to answer,
So your take on it, yes.
Yeah. For some reasons we have to bring foreigners, to fill some kind of positions, and depending on their demand, and if we really need the person, of course we have to pay the amount of money they are required. So but in our company, it's different.
Okay, so I suppose your shorter response is that for certain job or for certain type of jobs, there is a difference in the pay. But I just want also to add on to that point, the question. I think, we hear a lot of that, and for sure there, we can't speak for all the companies, but in generally there is that understanding around. But I think the industry is catching up on that. Over the years, there are locals who obviously aren't, definitely the same amount as the expectation. I think we wouldn't, I suppose, get to this point around without having the right data and the facts. And I think that's where you're also finding a difficult response. But definitely there is that challenge and issue. What we hope is that over the years ahead, that this will get sorted out. And I think having a minimum wage certainly will resolve a lot of these issues that we see out there. And I'm sure that gets organized in the near future. So Afeef, your resort is open, and it's a post-COVID A lot of measures are in place. Could you talk a little bit about how your guests are feeling right now being on your property, and in terms of the measures in place, and in your 30 years of service, you have not seen these people, right? First time you are
No.
experiencing this. So how do you preserve like this, and what's the atmosphere and interaction with the guests?
The first arrival when they came, I mean, they were really a little bit, I mean, the first group of people who came here, and also the first day, we are really a little bit serious on everything, I mean, according to the guidelines we need to follow. Then we find they are just, they also like, they're not most of the people, they're not coming out and enjoying the public pools and places like this. It's just like a couple of days. So, I mean, the group of people that we received is just probably different. But I see some kind of, I mean, some few people, they are okay. I mean, they don't really care. Even if we are very masked, sometimes they say, we would like to see your face. But of course, we have to follow actual guidelines. We are just observing everything. At the moment, we have about 50 people on the island, but it's a big island. So, I mean, on our island, most of the rooms, they have a pool. So people are not really coming to public pool. They have a pool in their room. And also in front of their room, they have a nice beach and lagoon to enjoy. But people are coming and enjoying the bar in the evening. And also like they're coming to the restaurant. We have a special different type of service. Very carefully, we are just observing everything.
Yeah, no, definitely the way we have to serve post pandemic, not just in our business, but in all the business will be different. We are getting some questions from the participants. I would like to take a question here from Mohamed Afeef. Says to both Afeefs, to you and me, but I would recommend you respond this. How do we keep a positive momentum going among all the uncertainty we are experiencing right now? What's your take on that? I mean, there's a lot of uncertainty. Yes, the economy is open now, resorts are open slowly, we have arrivals, but there's a lot of uncertainty, at least for the next 3 to 6 months or beyond. How should we get through this? What can we do as individual human beings?
Yeah, it's quite hard time because, I mean, when we had the COVID things hit, we are in the middle, yeah, we had lots of staff and also some guests, and, this is unacceptable things, I mean, the whole world is not really prepared these things, and also we have a big, I mean, a lot of team members, and we need to look after them. And also, of course, they have families all around the world, and financially and everything we have to support. It's a very uncertain moment, of course, but we have faith. We are very positive, and I mean, now we went down, and now actually things are coming back. We start getting people. Now it's like 4 or 5 days, 6 days. Now we have about 50 people, and hopefully the end of the month, we will have more than 100 people. So slowly, business is picking up. Of course, we are not really, we are not able to do everything what we're supposed to do. I mean, in terms of our staff members and all these things. But we are positive, we are positive.
Yeah, thank you, Afeef. I think, Shihab, to your question, the key message is do what you can with what you have.
Yeah.
I think that the world always had uncertainty, not just now. I mean, prior to this pandemic, I think everybody was quite worried about the war, the potential war between Korea and US, and then it became digital warfare between China and US. So the world has always been with some kind of uncertainty, but certainly not something like this. So my message is do what you can with what you have, and then you will keep going. I want to take one more question here. from Tashkil. Why do you think hospitality industry prefers experience over education? Question is, there's a lot of people with, lots of education, great certifications, but we happen to hire in most cases with people with experience. But if you, for example, study for a bachelor's degree, then you immediately continue MBA, you may not have the experience. So where should those people start? And what's your message on that based on your experience?
Yes, for even though, I mean, very young age, you're just gaining, I mean, your a bachelor's degree in hospitality industry or master's degree in hospitality industry, but you haven't got a chance to work. But I suggest for the young generation, okay, I mean, even the universities or institutes are not really are required, I mean, industrial training or whatever. You take yourself like initiative and do some kind of training, But the question is, for example, those people, I mean, when probably they were expecting a very higher job, they're expecting higher level job, but even if they don't get a job from wherever they target, I suggest them to start even if you are, like a bachelor's degree in hospitality industry, you can start from somewhere, of course. The whole management knows, you are capable of, you are just like someone very, got all studied well, and you are capable of doing things, So, the same time, you have to demand for things,
Yeah, good. I think the most important point you highlighted there is you have to start somewhere. And my response and kind of an add to what Mohamed Afeef mentioned is that for sure certain jobs require experience, but I think to start somewhere, when you join a new industry, we can't be choosy. We can't choose what we want, what we want or what type of job we want. We have to start somewhere, and then beyond, after a few years and you look back, you will not even remember how you started because you already grown so much. And so that's the advantage you will have if you have a certain level of education. Viewers and all the participants on this series of MAP HR Perspective segment, this is our fifth segment, and our guest today, as you've already seen and you've heard a lot and learned from Mohamed Afeef, the operations manager, a hotelier for 30 years. In these segments, we also bring different industry experts, and we will obviously bring in industry experts and not just HR specialists, but also people who actually do different types of business and different types of work. We usually do this every 10 days or 10 to 14 days, every 2 weeks. We'll always have one of these episodes. We're coming almost to the end of our segment for today, and I would like to ask this question from Afeef, and then we'll take one more question from a participant, and then we'll have a closing remark. Afeef, my question to you is that the industry is changing, right? What was relevant in our industry yesterday is not relevant anymore. What could we expect in the next 5 years in terms of the tourism industry changes in the Maldives? Because we have over 150 resorts now. More resorts are coming in the next, probably 12 months or 24 months. And what was surprising in our industry 5 years ago is not surprising anymore. It's expected. So how do you see the future changing in the industry?
We have, bright future in the Maldives tourism industry. This is like most. This is paradise for the whole world. Of course, things are changing. Like after the pre-COVID, people are not really just doing. Everybody who has worked. Who's supposed to work on the resort islands, they're just based on the resort islands. But now, of course, you can work at home. For example, even if you're a reservation manager or reservation assistant, reservation clerk, you can base at home. Even if you're like sales and marketing, you can work at home. You can work anywhere. You can work from your, island, or you can work from abroad, So this is also like something that we will see the next 5 years, Of course, I mean, tourism is spreading around the world from north to south. We have like, more than 330 guest houses and also about 150 six resorts. So like the locals, they have more chance to walk close to their home. The problem in the Maldives at the moment is like for us, we are away from family for too long. There's, I would like to see in the couple of years, people have easy way. People walk closer to their home. You know, then even if it's not once a week, I mean, they can go even once a month to see their families. I mean, even if it's like also like people probably we can target. For example, like if we have a resource in Addu, we need to target more Addu people, you know. So, I mean, in this way, probably they don't need to provide accommodation and food and things, you know. At the end of the day, they can go home. Only in the evening, you can just keep some security people on the island. So we need to, hopefully these things will come. These things will come. And also at the same time, we, the locals, we, the people who walk in, we need to demand for these kind of things. Somebody has to demand for these things.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you ask, you get, right? If you don't ask, yeah, maybe you may not get. So thank you very much, Afeef, for sharing your wisdom and insights into how you started in the industry, your messages to the locals, and most importantly, sharing your insight on how you see the industry and the opportunities, and what also we need to do as locals just to make sure that we bring more locals along the industry. Just as a closing remark, I would like you to highlight a little bit on this particular issue. I received a message to our hotline to ask from you that, you know, what can we do as industry experts so that more females will join our industry, right? Because we know the ratio of, you know, males to females, especially the Maldivians who joins the industry, is quite low. What can we do in the industry so that more and more Maldivian girls will join the industry? What's your message on that?
This is a problem, for example, because people come to work on resort islands, they are staying for too long, you know. That's why sometimes your parents are not allowing you to go and stay away from home for too long. And also sometimes some young girls, after finishing the school, probably they're done. I mean, if we have, the girls, doing a great job in tourism industries, but we have a very few girls, you know. We need to do some awareness programs, and also we need to give some kind of assurance. This is a like safe, nice place. And all this tourism industry is like safe place for anybody. I mean, just depending on the person, you know what I mean? So we need to encourage, we need to provide better benefits, and even the management, the hospital industry, the companies, they need to encourage more people, providing the best facilities for the girls, young girls to, because the problem is when you come to resort island, you're just doing your job and you're stuck, you know.
Yeah, I think the two keywords there is encourage and assurance. If that can happen, I think more and more will join. Of course, career guidance, you know, parent awareness session, and then assurance to the community is very, very important. Afeef, we've come to the end of our HR Perspective Share program. You are our fifth guest to this program. We do this every 10 days, 10 to 14 days. We have had, quite wonderful personalities and leaders on this program, also including the Vice President of the Maldives in our last segment. And thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and stories and insight. For viewers, we will also have the recording available so that you can have a look or can share with the others. And for those who actually share comments and questions and your thoughts, we really appreciate you. I know that there are some regular viewers of PARP members on our show, so thank you very much. I can see all your comments. Afeef, what's your closing remarks to all our viewers and everybody who is watching this program?
once again, honestly, I would like to say thank you very much, MAP, Maldives Association of Human Resources Professionals. You guys started something great, you know. I mean, we Maldives, we need, we need more people like this. Of course, I mean, you're not from the government. You're just like, um, kind of, yeah. So you, once again, thank you very much for Afeef and all the team members of MAP, you know, and all the team members of MAP. And also I would like to thank a lot of people who helped me during my career, I mean, to make who I am, you know, I mean. The problem is like, sometimes the problem for us is we don't know what we know and we don't know what we don't know, you know? I mean, so there are a lot of nice people who has guided me. One, I mean, my list is long, you know, so I mean, all those who helped me in my career, thank you very much. Last couple of years, I mean, I didn't apply for a job. The job applied for me, you know. So the job is looking for me. So that's very nice. I mean, to value my service and my work in hospitality industry. I am still going, and I will help for those who need in help. I'm officially and non-officially a coach. I love coaching, and whenever I get a chance, I would like to do the training, and yeah, I will continue.
Very good. Thank you. We love seeing you content. We love seeing you serve others. For all the viewers, also you can see now a poster here. This is the next program that is coming up by MAP on Saturday, the 20th of July, Maldives time 11 to 12 to the late part of the morning hours. Through Zoom, we will be presenting Kenneth Kwan. Many of you may have seen Kenneth Kwan. Kenneth Kwan spoke in one of our conference in the last year, and also we had an opportunity to do some virtual events. He's going to be presenting a very important topic to all of us, how to create rapid changes by increasing business agility. So that will be the topic. So that is our next program coming up. And also we are coming up with several other programs and activities that can help the community. We will be starting career guidance program very shortly, whereby we'll have experts from different areas who can guide, school leavers or those who would like to, take a, different step or turn in their career. So please do stay tuned, and we appreciate your time that you spend with us watching our HR Perspective Share. We will meet you with the next guest, and probably our next program will have a different host. Yes. We wanted to set this, get going, and we want to give an opportunity to others also to host the program. So you'll be, lucky and surprised to see that we'll have a different host next time and a different speaker. Afeef, thank you very much for joining us all there from Olhuveli. I know because of the weather, we had a little bit of connection with him, but that's not a big deal. Your wisdom is more worth, and that's actually what we were looking for. So thank you very much. And all the viewers, have a nice rest of the evening. We will look forward to seeing you in our next program. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Afeef and the team, and all the people who are watching this around the world. We would like to say the Maldives is open for you. Slowly, resources are opening, and your health and safety and our most priority. And we will look after you, and we will continue taking care of the guests. Maldives is a paradise for everyone, and we are at your service. Thank you very much, Mr. Afeef. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Nice evening.
Thank you. Nice message. Thank you.